Hello everyone, welcome back again. And so today in this session we will be learning how to swap two numbers. So swap means, in simple terms, it means to interchange the places of two numbers. So out here I have four different text fields. So these first two text fields, they are used to accept the value from the user, and then when we click this button, it will execute our function, and then the corresponding output, it will be displayed out here. So for example, if I give here 4 and then 5, when I click this button, the value of 4 should be here, and then the value of 5 should be here as like this. So it is already, the places have already interchanged, or they are swapped. So today what we are going to do is we will be using three different variables. The first two variable is to accept value from these text boxes, and then the another third variable, or sometimes we refer to as a temporary variable. This temporary variable they will be used to store the value for temporarily, and then after that it will apply the formula, and then it will display out inside our second text boxes. So let's go back to our notepad, and then let's start writing our program. So I already have the basic structure of HTML out here. So inside our body, first of all, what we have to do is either way you can write your JavaScript code first and then HTML second, or else you can write your HTML first, and then after that you can go ahead and then start writing your JavaScript. So out here what we have to do is, first of all, I will create a form. I'll do it inside our body. After that I will give a name to this form. After that let me give my form. Okay, after that, first of all, we have to accept a value. So let's say value of a. So input type should be text. After that, value of b. So again, input type is text. Now, to identify each of these two different text boxes, we have to give an ID. So ID is equal to, let's say, first. And then to identify the second text box, let's give an ID, and then let's give as a second. Alright, so right now we have two different boxes with a different ID, the first and then second. So these text boxes will be used to accept the value from the user. So after that, let me give one line break. Again, let me give two. Okay. After that, let's create a button to execute our function. So button on click is equal to, so let me give a swap. So this swap, it will be our function name. After that, swap now. So the value inside the button. So let's close the button. After that, let's give br. Okay, let's give 2. Okay, after that, now we have two text boxes to accept from the user, one button to execute our function, and then let's create two more text box to display our values. So value of a. Again, let's say that. After that, input type is text. After that, let's give an ID as answer 1. Okay, value of b, input type is text, and then ID as answer 2. Okay, let's close our form. So we are done with the HTML part. We are out here. This two first text field you will be used to accept the value. This button will be used to execute our function name as a swap. After that, the last two text field is to accept the value for the first and then the second after interchanging the places. So first of all, let's try to save this one. Let me give swapping.html. Okay, now let's go ahead and then check whether it is working on it. So okay, so right now we do not have any JavaScript code, so it will not run anything. So let's go back again and then start writing our JavaScript code. So I will write inside my head tag. So the script tag. After that, first of all, what we have to do is we have to declare a function. So this function is a keyword to create a function name. So function, so my function name is swap. Okay, after that, let's give one curly bracket. After that, since I have told you we will be using three different variables, so variable, so you can use any variable name. Out here in our example, I'll use A, B, and then C. So we have three variables here, A, B, and then C. So this the first two variables let's use to accept the value from the user and then store it, and then these third variables or temporary variables will be used to store the value temporarily before it is being used. So first of all, let's store a value in our variable A, where the value have to be entered by the user. So we are accepting the value from the user using this first text box. Alright, so A is equal to, let's say, number. After that, we have to write document.keep element by ID. So since we are accepting the value from the user through HTML, so out here number document.get element by ID. Inside this ID, we have to write the text box ID name from where we want to accept the value. So right now we want to accept the value from this text box, and then this first text box it have an ID first. So let's go up here and then write first out here. That means we are accepting the value through using these HTML text boxes. So out here, any value that the user have entered inside this text box with an ID, first that particular value will be stored in our variable A. Okay, after accepting the values, let's go ahead for the second one. Number document.keep element by ID. After that, we are going to accept the value for the second. After that, value. So same as the first text box out here, we inside our HTML documents with an ID. Second, whatever the value the user have entered out here, that value will be stored in our variable P. Okay, now after accepting the value, let's apply the formula. So let variable C. So let's assign a value of variable to C as the A. Right. After that, let's say A is equal to P. After that, P is equal to C. So out here, for example, if the user have entered 1 in the first text field, the value of C will become 1. After that, inside this value A, the value of a will becomes equal to p. So let me open notepad. After that I will show you the example there. So let me copy this one. Okay, so out here, for example, inside that value a, if the user have entered 1, and then inside that second text value if the user have entered 2. In our example, in this formula, the value of c will become 1. After that, the value of a will become 2, since a is equal to b, and then the user have entered 2 out here. After that, the value of p will become the value of a, so the user have entered 1. So after interchanging the places, it will display 2 and then 1. This one, the user have entered 1, 2. After applying this formula, the output will get the output as 2 and 1. I hope you understood the conversion out here. So these CET are used for storing the value temporarily to solve to create that particular conversion. We are using the third variables. Okay, now let's go back here. After that, now after converting, we have to display the value inside our text boxes. So document dot get element by id. After that, since we want to display our answer out here, let's answer 1. Answer 1. After that, the value is equal to, it will be a. Okay. After that, document dot get element by id. Answer 2 dot value is equal to p. Okay, so after that, let's close the curly bracket out here. After that, let's close our script. So out here, after conversion, the value of e and then p will be displayed in this particular text boxes as answer 1 and then answer 2. So let's save this one. Let's check it in our browser. Right. Oh, okay. Now if let's say 3 and then 5, after solving, the 5 should be here and then 3 should be here. Okay, so that's how we can 4, 5, 5, 4. That's how we can interchange the place of two numbers. So I will wind up. Our FTR function name is swap. We have 3 variables a, b, c, a, and then p. The first 2 variables, they are used to accept the value from the user. The third variables, they are used to store the value for temporarily to apply this formula. So in the out here, it is symbol, the value of c will become the value of a, and then the value of a will be equal to the value of this p, and then the value of p will be equal to value a. So after this conversion, when the output is printed, the value of this a, and then this p will get printed out here. So that's all. See you in the next class.